Hello and welcome to episode 45 of the Casual Tryhard Podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm James.
And we have to revisit a topic we have talked way too much about.
Yeah, I'm going to be super happy when we don't have to make this show anymore.
Like, not the podcast.
No,
show.
Just this episode in general. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The band hammer was swung today.
Oh, yeah.
And it was swung very hard. It squished many a format.
Oh, yeah. There was definitely shrapnel afterwards.
Yes. So we're going to talk about that.
Yep.
If you want to reach out and give us show ideas or anything like that, or just interact with me, you can tweet at us at Casual Tripod on Twitter.
Yep, and I made a note here that Brian does the best job about filtering out Twitter nonsense and drama and putting only the useful nuggets out there.
Decks that look interesting.
Yeah.
Occasional funny things.
Yep. The worst part about Magic Twitter is the nonsense and drama. So
yeah.
If you follow us, you get to skip all that
and just
get the good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not going to tweet about any drama stuff.
Yep. You can also find us on Facebook at Casual Tryhard MTG, or you can shoot us an email at show@casualtryhardmtg.com.
Like we said, this is going to be a lot of bands, and then perhaps where formats stand post-ban.
Yep.
We had bands in Standard.
We did.
We had bands in Legacy.
We did. We
had bands in Vintage, but no one cares, I think is what we settled on.
And
LSV cares.
And we had bands in Brawl.
And we had bands in Brawl.
Yep.
So 4 formats got stuff banned.
Yeah. Not Modern, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, not Modern. I will say this now. Modern might be new Legacy.
Yeah, that's kind of something we've been tossing, kicking back and forth for a week or two now. I don't know what's going to happen with Modern. With Pioneer being around, it's some of the focus has been taken off of Modern, and I want to say this is normally Modern's time to shine, right?
Yeah.
So there being a focus on Pioneer instead of Modern is kind of odd. And also, there's a deck in Modern right now that's 25-30% of the format, and nobody's doing anything about it, which is also kind of weird.
Yeah, they tried. They tried to ban Mono Green, and it was just
No, in Modern.
In Modern,
In Modern, yeah. I'm talking about the Urza decks.
The Urza decks, yeah.
And, nobody's doing anything about it. So it's kind of weird that they let that one slide for now, and, we're focusing elsewhere.
It might be one of those things kind of with how Legacy used to be.
Yeah.
One, unless it's, super broken.
Yeah.
They're not going to mess with it. And 2...
make us figure it out.
Yeah, and they have no reason to mess with it. There's no big tournaments. All the, Eternal format tournaments in, the first, third of next year are all Pioneer.
Yeah.
Right? So there's not there's a big GP or PT.
Right.
We can go back to PT now.
Sure.
PT.
Makes it easy on us.
Yeah, that we have to, go and worry about, what's a metagame going to look like?
Yeah.
Or how can we shake this up? There's just nothing. It's just Pioneer stuff.
Yep, Pioneer and Standard.
It says here that we will be very happy when they, stop making us have to do the BNR show.
Yeah, I really wish they'd get their act together and stop making us do the show.
Yeah, so I think we can throw this in now as kind of a preamble.
Okay.
So a while back, we talked about, what might be leading to the bans.
Yep.
And one thing I brought up was the smushing a whole block into one set. So you got to make all the mechanics work.
Yeah, one of the things that Wizards has talked about in the past is trying not to make block monsters, where you have a mechanic that's so parasitic that it just takes over everything, and decks end up being all cards from one block.
Kaladesh. Sorry, there's something in my throat.
Yeah, that was weird there for a minute. You might want to have a sip of water.
Yeah, let me refresh myself.
Now we're not doing blocks anymore. We're doing single sets. And effectively, they have created a set monster instead of a block monster by trying to cram all this food stuff in one set.
Either you have to make the set monster, or the thing doesn't get played, because it would be super hard to have food in this set and then go to Theros, which is an enchantment plane, but have maybe not a food matters thing, but an artifacts matter thing. So the foods are used as artifacts. Mm-hmm. Right, that'd be really hard to do.
It'd be impossible to do.
Right. And then the other thing that I tweeted out a video from Matt Sperling, and it's something I think I brought up as well, was with play design, I think they feel like they can go a little nuts.
Yes and no. I think that they are more willing to like let things out than they were in the past because hopefully play design catches them. But if you read the article that accompanied the like the BNR there, I forget what they called it, but Wizards had an article today talking about the play design team.
Like the head of play design, Brian something.
Yeah. He said that the play design team is not just for play testing. Like they have to design cards as well.
Yes.
So like they can't have their entire focus be on testing a format.
Yeah.
They also have to be designing cards, which, I mean, I understand why they have to do both sides of it, but if you hired them on to make sure the format's good, you need to let them make sure the format's good.
Yeah, I mean, my point is that they, like you said, they feel like they can push cards, use this, they called it their fire. Yeah. It's like fun, interactive. Like,
yeah, I forget what whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah. This fire design philosophy, so they're pushing cards.
Yeah.
So they feel like they can push cards because if they mess up, play design's going to catch it.
Another thing that they said in that article was that they are very happy with the power level of current standard. They just wish Oko wasn't so powerful.
I mean, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, that's problematic from my point of view.
Yeah, but they also said like they're testing and designing cards, and it sounds like they got Oko to a point they were happy with it.
Yeah.
And then they set it aside.
Right.
And they didn't come back to it to see where Oko fit in their new...
Yeah, once they designed Gilded Goose and Wicked Wolf.
Yeah, they didn't come back and see where it fit with everything else in the set.
Yeah.
Which kind of seems really weird for this is our flagship card.
Right.
Right? So, like, I don't know if they, like, designed a food deck or something and then was like, okay, Oko's good, and then they designed and, you know, they play tested another deck and turned those knobs, and then it can go back and go like, oh, everything being a 3/3 sucks.
Yeah. It's kind of hard also because, like, just looking at the card file when we were doing, like, our set review or whatever, cards like Gilded Goose and Wicked Wolf, like, you can look at them and see that they're good, but that's not really the card that you look at and say, oh, this is what you're supposed to do with a food deck. You look at a card like Savvy Hunter, and you're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with the food deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
that, like, Savvy Hunter turns out is not what you're supposed to be doing with the food deck.
I think the problem, like, when I evaluated Gilded Goose, I looked at it as a card that is a one-shot mana dork.
Yeah, that's what I did also.
And then you've got to, like, put 2 mana into it to get more mana. But when it makes a planeswalker that always...
Yeah, it makes a 3/3 instead it has to make a food.
Right, or makes a food, now it's always on for a mana dork.
Right.
And the fact that it's, like, a reasonable mana sink late in the game.
Yeah.
Right, I was never like, oh, well, you're totally going to just, like, be happy to make a food.
Yeah. And
it's going to, like, eliminate aggro decks because, like, you're just gaining 3 life.
Yeah.
Right, I never saw that. And my play pattern that I saw with Oko was, and I talked about this, so you play Oko, you plus Oko.
Right.
Then you, the next turn, steal their 2 or their 3 drop.
Yeah.
And that's not the play pattern.
No, like, that almost never happens.
No one ever, like, minuses it. You just keep going up.
Yeah. When we were at the GP, I had an Oko that I had to have 2 spin downs on because I just kept going up with it.
Yeah, like when he's at 13, maybe you'll get around to stealing something and putting him to 8. Maybe.
Or not. A lot of times it's just better to make 3/3s.
Yeah. So it just wasn't something, like, it didn't jump out of the text file. Like, I thought, like, Oko was busted.
Yeah.
But I thought it was busted because you're going to steal stuff. I just didn't see the other mode. So I can see where they miss it. But, like, if you're afraid you might miss something, err on the side of caution.
Right.
And it seems like they were like,
no, man, turn it to 11.
Yeah, like, I don't think we missed this. It's like, how about we just, like, be sure?
Right.
So, yeah, the fact that they're happy with the power level of standard is a little disconcerting.
A little bit.
Because there's so many things in this standard that, like, you put 2 cards together and it just, like, invalidates something.
Well, let's start talking about some bans, and we'll get back to some of these 2 cards that go together and invalidate things.
Right. So, in standard, Oko Thief of Crowns is no more.
Surprise, surprise.
He is gone.
Yep. I was kind of hoping they were going to hit Nissa, like I have said the last couple weeks. I don't necessarily think the early Oko was the worst thing, or like the most oppressive thing. I think the early Nissa was the most oppressive thing. But obviously, you can see why Oko's gone.
Yeah, you have to get rid of Oko.
Yeah.
Just because, again, like, I was saying that, like, Jeskai Fires, where you, like, play a Cavalier.
Yeah.
And if you don't kill them, they just elk your Cavalier, and you're just like, oh, well, that
Yeah, then you're
sucked.
back to square zero.
Yeah, you're like, well, okay, I have a 3/3 against your, like, 4/4 Wicked Wolf, so I have nothing.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Glad I built my entire deck to have nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Wicked Wolf is turns into a brick wall instead of blowing them down, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
It's not like I'm playing like pigs. If I was playing the big pig and then Wicked Wolf blew him over, I'd be like, okay, fine, I'm down with this. Oh, what if you like big pig, and then you fires a big pig and then attack, and then you slam another Cavalier?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, you're like pig, red Cavalier, pump twice, swing. Like, pump once, swing, put in your blue Cavalier, pump again.
Whew, get it back, do it again next turn. Ooh, that's pretty good. There we go. Now you get the wheels turning.
We got a spicy brew going here. the quick 0-4 drop at a GP.
There you go.
The thing to do we have here from like an MTG finance point of view is buy Okos?
Absolutely. If you plan on playing any format besides Standard, buy your foil or buy your Okos sometime between now and the end of the week.
Yeah, because they're going to, like, tank.
Yeah.
I am sad that I bought my Okos when they were not banned.
I am probably still going to buy some Okos.
Yeah, I have, like, one, like, borderless one that I got for $35 at the GP.
Yeah, I think I'm going to scoop up some borderless ones shortly.
So, because they're played in...
Every format?
Every format.
Yep. It looked great in Pioneer over the weekend. I don't think the card's too strong for Pioneer, but we'll see. It looks good in Modern. I definitely don't think it's too good for Modern. I don't think it's too good for Legacy. It's good, but I don't think it's good enough to warrant the ban hammer coming down on it. I would get them now before they...
before people like realize that they shouldn't be ditching them for next to nothing.
Right.
Because, I mean, if you're a Standard-only player, like this hurts.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I don't know, like, how many Standard-only players are going to be, because while Pioneer prices are a little crazy, they're significantly cheaper than Modern, and you may have a lot of those cards.
Yeah, and, I mean, if you were in a position where you could spend $400 on Okos, a month ago, you're probably in a position where you can buy a Pioneer deck.
Yeah. So we have gotten rid of Oko.
Yep.
So creatures have text boxes again.
They do. We also got rid of Once Upon a Time.
Oh, so there's randomness in Magic now?
Yeah, it's weird. Who would have thought that a free spell that makes the best color more consistent was too powerful?
Are we calling green the best color? Because this is a dark time for blue, if we've decided that green's the best color.
Have you seen the Standard format? Green has far and away been the best color for quite some time now.
And I guess it is the best color in Pioneer.
It is.
Yeah, this is sad.
Yep.
Well, we had a ban, so it might not be the best color in Legacy right now.
Correct. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So the decks are going to be less consistent. The, like, every game turn one goose into 3-drop is going to be less prevalent.
Yeah, like looking at this card when we were doing our card valuations, like at the beginning of this set, obviously you see free spell that draws you a card, basically, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay, regardless of what else it does, that's going to be good. I missed on how helpful that card is in the late game. I almost saw that card as a downside in the late game.
Yeah.
Because you always want this to be your first spell of the game, but you probably don't want to draw it on, turn 6 when you're looking for gas. That's not the case in this format. Green ramps so hard with Gilded Goose and Nissa and your threats are cheap.
And Paradise Druid.
And Paradise Druid. And like all your threats are cheap. So you have all this mana in the late game. You just need something to do with it. Digging 5 cards deep to find your Krasis, find your Wicked Wolf, find your Questing Beast. Like that's completely fine.
Yeah. It is going to be good to not have the consistent, like you said, someone had the data where they had 70% of their games against Oko or food decks always had a turn 1 Goose.
Well, yeah.
And that's
because you got 8 looks at it.
Yeah, that's going to go away.
Yeah,
which is going to be good.
Good for the format. Yeah.
Yeah, because the number of games that are just like I'm playing the same game.
Right.
Was super high.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about that a couple weeks ago. I think. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it was even last week. It's not going to fix the London Mulligan issues where
that's right. We were talking about Zvi's article.
Yeah, where things are very consistent, but it is going to, it's going to be harder to mulligan the, 2 lands Paradise Druid hands.
Yeah.
To be like, well, no, I need to get, my Once Upon a Time hand.
Yeah.
So, that'll be good.
Yep. And
then the last card to get banned, which...
Yeah, I understand why it's gone. I have some questions, though.
Is Veil of Summer?
It's Veil of Summer, yeah.
So, in this article where they were talking about push standard cards, they brought up the card Autumn's Veil.
That I didn't know existed.
I did not know existed either. It's the same mana cost, has all the same text except for the draw a card part.
Right.
So, that card is a card that has been around for 8 years that no one has ever put in their deck.
Yeah, it was M12, right?
M12.
Yeah.
Veil of Summer is a card that wrecks everything in every format,
right,
and gets put in every deck. Like Autumn's Veil was a card that 100%. Wait, no, did it not give you hexproof? It just gives you permanence.
Yeah, I think just your permanence.
Right. So this was you got hexproof.
Yeah.
And drew a card.
Yeah.
And did everything Autumn's Veil did for the same mana cost.
Right.
Why? Why? That has gone away.
Yeah.
The green Cryptic Command is dead.
It is. I mean, there's definitely similarities there between Cryptic Command and this.
Yeah, counter draw.
Exactly. That's what it is for 3 less mana. That's splashable because you don't need triple blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, awkward. But I do have a question.
Okay.
If green wasn't so overrun with overpowered cards right now, would this be an issue? In standard, I'm not talking about other formats. I mean in standard. If Oko wasn't here, if Gilded Goose wasn't here, if Nissa wasn't here, if Once Upon a Time wasn't here, you know what I mean? If the threats that you're trying to protect weren't as good.
I think that it might be something where it limits so much counterplay.
Yeah.
Right? Green decks are supposed to be about big, dumb green creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's kind of what I mean, though, is if this card was printed the way Veil of Summer is written in, M12, when green wasn't good, would anybody care?
I don't think. But I think that, they didn't want to ban green out of standard.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't want to just ban forest. Right? So I think that this is an admission that the green cards are still really good.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have to make sure that Noxious Grasp and counter spells are still good.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, then
we're still in trouble.
We're still in trouble because we could ban Oko in Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
And people could still just
Goose.
wait till turn 6 and go Nissa.
Yeah.
And know that they're going to get a card and have their Planeswalker resolve.
Right.
Or counter a removal spell, and now you're just super far behind.
Yeah.
So this takes away that that way for green to protect itself, because green really shouldn't have a counter spell.
No, but if we were playing with Pelucranos, would this be a conversation? If we had Pelucranos instead of Nissa right now?
Probably not.
Sure, you can spend a mana to save your Pelucranos. That's fine.
What if we had Siege Rhino?
See, the problem with Siege Rhino, though, is that they came in packs.
This is true. It's true, but you'd hit your 5th mana and you'd play Siege Rhino, Hold Up Veil.
Yeah.
Right, I think it's just if you have a standard where green is really good, green having a 1 mana cantripping answer is a problem.
Right, and I conceded that fact. That's why, I said in Eternal formats it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that you can, like, they couldn't ban enough green cards
to make green bad enough
to make green on the same power level as everything else.
Yeah.
And so they have to just be like, well, we can't give them everything.
Yeah.
So let's
But I want everything.
You had everything for a while. So let's ban 3 cards and cross our fingers and hope this works out.
Yeah.
Is I think what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's still a deck, and we can talk about that.
That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to talk about what's next, right?
Yeah. So
what's next?
This is your baby. This is Jund Food.
Yeah. Some kind of cat oven deck is going to be the next big thing, I think.
Yeah, I think 100% that everyone's going to do that first.
Yep.
And I hate it.
Well, I like it. It's my style deck, though.
Well, it's not. It's just that maybe it'll change when we don't have to account for, Oko.
Yeah.
But it just feels like when you assemble cat and oven, you no longer have ground combat.
Right.
And
you need trample.
You need trample.
Yeah.
Or you need questing beasts that cats can't block.
Right.
But you just have kind of unassailable, you've got the ground locked up with a 1/1.
Yeah.
And then there's just this stupid little pingy clock, and it also is super fiddly.
Yeah.
On Arena, I'm just okay, now you click your food and you get your cat back.
Yeah.
And it's just
well, that's a latency thing, though, because there's only so fast you can click before Arena's oh, no, slow down.
I understand, but sitting there, you're just oh my god, please, just can we cycle through this? Yes, where you're just can we just hit a button where it's I'm going to do this 4 times,
right?
And you're just okay, I guess we're going to do this 4 times, but it's just a super annoying deck to play against, and it just sucks that it's Red Cavalier, block it,
right?
You lose a life, I gain a life. Woo! So that's the only thing is I just don't know if that is the play pattern we want to promote. But maybe there'll be enough sideboard slots that you can actually play artifact removal, or that you can actually play
Night of Autumn's still a legal card, right?
Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah, Cage.
You just slam a cage and you're just here we go. Well, a week ago, Andrea Mangucci tweeted out a picture that said "Welcome to Standard," and it was both players on turn 0 with Leyline of the Void in play.
Oh yeah,
because they were both on red-black sacrifice, so just each brought in 4 Leylines and slammed Leylines.
Yeah,
and it's just oh well, that's a good place for the format.
Yeah, it sounds like Hogak all over again.
Sounds like Hogak. I gotta have my Leylines.
All right, so your reservations aside, I want to talk about this deck a little bit because I like it. I don't think that the red-black sacrifice lists are good enough.
Okay.
I think that the priest builds are too finicky and are too narrow to be good in the format.
Okay.
Priest isn't where you want your value to come from. So basically the way I built this deck, and I've been tearing it up on Arena with this deck, is I took the Sultai list, the Sultai food list, and I made it Jund, and I got rid of Okos and Nissas and Once Upon a Times, and I put in Cats and Ovens and Mayhem Devils. And more or less, that's the list I've been playing.
No Corvolds?
Oh, yeah, there's 2 Corvolds in there, too.
Well, I put together a Jund sacrifice list with, I don't know, we're missing something because I'm playing 4 priests.
Oh, okay. I'm not on Priest.
I played 4 Priests, but I have...
Yeah, I don't think Priest is good enough.
Wicked Wolf and Goose, Cat and Oven, Corvold. So I don't know what the different cards are, but that was what I was playing. So I was playing something similar.
I'm on Rankles, too. I got a couple Rankles in there.
I might not have the Rankles. I think yours was more aggressive.
Yeah.
You had Spawn of Mayhem and Rankle.
Yeah, 2 of each. But yeah, so I don't think that the Priest is good enough. And it depends what the format does, but I think there's enough decks that just play stupid little things where the Priest isn't great. And then the deck still has powerhouses in it with Rankle Mayhem or Spawn of Mayhem. And then I still have the Wicked Wolves in there because the Goose and the Wolf play well with Mayhem Devil also. Like every time you sack a food, you get to shoot stuff. So you can clear out like all the chump blockers. The Wolf fights something big, and you just crack in for a bunch of damage. It really is, I mean, it happens, but it's rare that you just like win through straight cat loops.
Yeah.
Usually, you can knock them down like 5 or 6 points and then kill them in combat.
Yeah.
And then, like, the Corvold just turns the whole deck into an engine. Like, if you stick a Corvold with, like, any 2 pieces of your deck on the battlefield, you're just going to bury them in card advantage.
Yeah, I think I was playing Savvy Hunter as well. I was trying to play Savvy Hunter in it. So
yeah, I wasn't on Savvy
I think
Hunter.
your Rankles and Spawn of Mayhems were my Savvy Hunters.
Yeah.
So that's probably where some of it comes from as well.
Could be.
I worry that the format just all becomes about Cat Oven.
Yeah.
And then we're at a point where, like, we're main decking ley lines, or we're main decking like crappy artifact removal to get rid of ovens. So that's my only concern, is just that it might that engine was super powerful and like worked in the face of the other decks.
Yeah.
And kind of like when we banned Field of the Dead, and everyone was like, Oko's really good.
Yeah.
And then Oko was really good. Like,
I think the difference though is that there's a lot more options to combat Cat Oven than there was Oko. Like, Oko came down and gave you value. Like, Cat Oven, I guess it comes down, but it doesn't do a whole lot until, like, those life points matter later in the game.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or you can start your loops or whatever. But there's a ton, like we said, there's a ton of stuff that interacts with it. Cage, ley lines, Sorcerer's Spyglass shuts it off.
Yeah.
Like, there's stuff you can do.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit different.
And then we have red-black aggro.
Yeah, this is another deck that you don't love. I've been killing it with this deck on Arena too.
I have so many games where you're like, well, granted, I was running into like a lot of Cat Oven and food.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't attack on the ground.
Yeah.
And then like I lost a bunch of games against like I'd have 2 Spawn of Mayhems, and they would like, be playing Golgari Adventures and be like, I'll drain you with stupid Sit and Swordmaster to 2.
Yeah.
And then I would die to my own Spawn of Mayhem triggers and just dumb stuff like that, where it was just like,
Yeah.
And I also had problems with the mana. Like, I worry that like red-black, you're playing way too many swamps and mountains to support your like double black 3 and 4 drops, and then your double red Embercleave.
Yeah.
I had a lot of games where I had like an I had one game where my Embercleave was stuck in my hand for like 4 turns because I could just never draw my second red.
How many Embercleaves were you on?
Like 2.
Oh, okay.
And then I had another game where I had Spawn of Mayhem and Rankle stuck in my hand because I didn't have a second swamp.
Yeah, it's awkward.
And I was just like, so it went from like 1 game without red to like 3 games without black. And I was just like, this just feels like if you would play this at like a GP, you would like be throwing away like at least a round, if not 2, to just like never drawing the right colors.
Yeah, I want to make a point later in the show about this topic in particular. Mana being not great in some areas. So we're going to cycle back to this.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the red-black aggro deck. That's kind of like my thing anyway.
Like, I really want Stormfist Crusader to be good. I like that card.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. Like I said, I don't know if the mana's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So then Andre Strosky tweeted out that he thought Cavaliers would be good post-ban, like Jeskai Fire Cavaliers. So I bought my missing Cavaliers.
Yep, I think I agree with him. This is definitely going to be a strong deck.
Yeah, I think, like, again, like we said, like, when you would slam a Cavalier and it would get turned into a 3/3.
Yeah.
Like, that was just, like...
Feel bad.
Yeah, because usually it's like you can play a Cavalier, or play your 2 Cavaliers, ideally, and if you can't get in with both, you can at least get in with 1.
Yeah.
And then the next turn, you can kill them.
Right.
And I was also playing, like, I was playing Teamer, because I was trying to see about ramping into...
Mm-hmm.
the fires, which was
so you were trying
fun.
To like Growth Spiral.
I was on Growth Spiral and Arboreal Grazer, and then I cut the Arboreal Grazer, so I just wanted to try to like ramp into it.
Yeah.
And like a turn 3 fires is pretty good, but I think that if the format does get more aggressive, having like the Jeskai and having what's it called?
Deafening
Clarion probably makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to try that because it was something I'd been thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you still have access to Flame Sweep, right?
You do. So that is an option as well. I hadn't put that in. And then the other thing is I think that the Bant Ramp deck...
It's still going to be a thing.
That Strosky and Co. played at I put down here MC5, but I don't know. There's been too many of these things.
Whichever one it was.
It was the Field of the Dead one.
Yeah.
So at the Field of the Dead one, I think like everyone was like, this deck's trash.
Yeah.
And then like 3 of them day 2'd.
Yeah.
And then I think Siska top 4'd or top 8'd or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a Nissa ramp deck.
Yeah, with like Krasis and Mass Manipulation or whatever.
Krasis, Mass Manipulation. You get to play Pioneer, All-Star, Voracious Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you play like Teferi. So your 3 mana slot is Teferi. I don't know if they had Goose. But like, I don't know, a turn 2 Teferi, like bounce your 2-drop is probably fine.
Yep, pretty good.
Right, and I said it has like some flexible sideboard cards, like Knight of Autumn, so that like helps you against the aggressive decks and like kills an oven.
Deputy Detention.
You'd have to tweak that deck because it was playing mainboard deputies to combat all the zombies.
Right.
So that might not be something you necessarily need, especially if the format because it's not hard for the what's it called, the sacrifice deck to with a Mayhem Devil out to deal 3 damage to a thing.
Right.
But you could probably play with...
Yeah, it's like a cat cycle does that, right?
Yeah.
Sack a cat, bring it back, sack it.
If you have 2...
If you have to have 2 ovens.
You have to have 2 ovens or you have to have a food in play already.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do 3 damage pretty easily.
Yeah.
You have, is it Return to Nature or whatever it is?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The blow up an enchantment, blow up an artifact, or exile a card from a graveyard.
Yep.
So it kind of covers all the parts of Cat.
Yep.
And so it seems like it has like the flexible answers. You could go like bigger and play like Tristani, or you could play like March of the Multitudes.
Yeah.
So you have a number of things that you can dump your mana into depending on how you want to. Like Finale of Glory was a card they played. Yeah. Because it's not hard to get to 12 mana when you have a Nissa out, like turn 6.
Yeah, basically.
Turn 6, all the angels go.
Good luck.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways that you can just like win the game in that deck.
Yeah.
If you have enough mana.
Another deck that might get better that we don't have written down here, but like the Simic Flash lists, like the Wolf Flash lists.
Yeah.
Like they could probably get better after Oko's gone too.
Yeah, I think they...
Or at least have a meta share again.
Yeah, I think they and Teamer Rec have a problem if our 3 mana Planeswalker of choice becomes Teferi again.
Right.
Right, like those decks just can't beat a Teferi. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes they let a spell resolve, and you're just like, Teferi, and they're like, well, I guess my deck does nothing. Like,
oops.
A main phase Night Pack Ambusher is not nearly as scary as an end of turn 1.
Yeah.
An effectively haste guy.
Right.
Yeah, like Simic Flash, I don't know about Team of Reclamation, probably takes a hit because it was preying on...
Yeah, it was kind of meant to combat the Oko decks.
Pioneer?
Yeah.
No changes.
No changes. I had my notes to be determined because the Pioneer announcement happened like an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I had written this like 7 hours ago.
Yeah.
So still to be determined. They said that they're still gonna make an announcement next week, but they don't expect to make any changes next week either because there's a PTQ or something like the following weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it is the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So they maybe aren't like, I don't know when Wizards gives their people off.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
But they might have the no ban announcement like already queued up to like go up on the site.
Yep. It'll be a turkey holding it, no ban.
Yeah. Ian Duke in like a pilgrim costume.
Yeah. And we're also going to cycle back to Pioneer in a little bit too.
Yeah.
So.
And then we have Modern. Like we said, no changes.
No changes.
Apparently, like your Star City event can be like 42 or 46 Urza decks out of like the 120 decks that made day 2 or whatever, or 200 decks.
Yeah.
So it can be 25 to 30% of your metagame.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yep. No problems.
Yeah. Urza is a messed up card.
It is.
I think Cameron in our chat said, and I've heard other people say this, just ban any card that says copyright 2019 on it.
There's a lot of good ones this year.
And that will fix a lot of what ails you.
Yeah.
I think that like when you watch a Pioneer tournament, the number of cards that are just out of standard is like super high.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, like the best option from the last 10 years of Magic or whatever it is
Voracious Hydra.
Voracious Hydra is a card that got printed that I was like, this is a decent draft card. Right. I don't know if it'll like ever see play in Standard.
Yeah. I remember putting it in my sealed pool reluctantly.
Yeah. And now it just like carries an
archetype.
Like 2, because like I think the Hardened Scales decks play it.
Oh, and we're going to come back to this point in a little bit too.
Yeah. Legacy.
Yep.
I think I mentioned this a while back.
Yeah.
Renin 6 is dumb. And they said we don't want any more of this.
It's gone.
So apparently the Ren deck was 20% of the Legacy metagame.
Yeah.
Like it was just Teamer Delver.
Yep. As far as you can see.
Yeah. It was all of it.
Yep. So in the article, they cited Wasteland locks being problematic, being able to recur Wasteland every turn.
That's a problem? Just never letting your opponent ever have like their third land?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah. They also said that there's too many 1 toughness creatures that they want in the format.
That can't be played.
They can't be played because of Renin 6. Like Bob, Mother of Runes, Thalia, and Young Pyromancer, I think, were the ones that they had talked about.
Yeah, I think those are the 3. Those are the 3 Shadow Band cards, yeah.
Yep. So they said that Ren's got to go so they can see play again.
And so that, the format, like, even remotely close to functions.
Right.
It's weird. It's like, again, it's a weird thing that, like, it's banned in Legacy now.
Yeah, but not Modern?
But not Modern. I guess it's
strange.
You don't have, like, the Wasteland lock.
Yeah.
But still, like, it is strange. But, yeah, so...
Also, like, those 1 toughness creatures aren't, like, ever present in Modern. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
like, right now, the format's built around a 2/4.
He's a 1/4, isn't he?
Is he a 1/4?
He's tiny.
Whatever. He's a 4.
Yeah, he's a 4.
Yeah.
But, like Jun doesn't play Dark Confidant anymore.
Right.
Which is like sacrilege, but you can't because you just like Bob and then just like Ren,
kill it, yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Also, like, Renin 6 is kind of just a better Bob.
Yeah. And we talked about like Renin 6 being a better Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like giving you all the mana that you need.
Yeah.
It's giving you a win condition.
Yep.
It's like fixing your colors.
Yep.
And occasionally it locks your opponent out of the game.
Right. Like, I know that you don't play a whole lot of Dark Confidant.
I don't.
But typically, I would say like 8 times out of 10, when I reveal my card to Bob, I want it to be a land.
Uh-huh.
Like, I always just want that free card. I don't want to have to pay life for it. I just want it for free. And that's what Renin 6 does. So it is just better Bob, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's ticking up to win you the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if it goes unchecked, that's GG's.
I was looking at my Legacy deck last night. Rest in peace, Legacy deck.
Yeah.
And I was like, should this Assassin's Trophy just be an Abrupt Decay? Because, like, I have to be able to kill, like, Renin 6 and not get it forced. It's like...
It's true.
Like, well, now I don't have to worry about killing Renin 6.
Right.
So maybe I don't need it to be that. But it was just like... It's like, maybe this should change because, like, the format is just, like...
Like, S Trophy hits,
lands as well.
Yeah, it hits Caracas, which is
important. Which is a big deal. But no, it was just like... It was like...
Yeah.
Do I just need to be able to kill a Renin 6?
Yeah.
Which is, like, a weird place to be.
Yeah. In Legacy.
In Legacy. It did really homogenize the format.
Yeah.
And Legacy is about playing, like... Well, now it's about not playing Legacy. But
right.
Before it was about playing kind of whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, there's a million different decks that are all competitive.
Yeah.
And when, a 30-year format is one deck, that's very problematic for a format that's known for being diverse.
Yeah.
So.
And then Vintage, we got rid of Narset Part of Veils, well, restricted her.
Yeah, they don't ban cards in Vintage, just restrict them.
Yeah. And I mean, it makes sense, like, the format that, like, has Ancestral Recall.
Yeah.
And granted a restricted Treasure Cruise.
Yeah.
And a restricted Brainstorm.
Yeah.
A card that just makes all of those cards just garbage.
Right.
Is probably not great. Like, the format that's about spells and drawing cards.
Yeah. My uncommon stops your deck.
Yeah. My uncommon just ruins you.
Standard legal uncommon.
Yeah.
But it's Vintage, so does anyone really care?
Yeah, no one, like...
Besides LSV?
Yeah, I'm not,
There's like 6 people that play Vintage, so...
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then finally, in paper now...
In paper.
Oko has now joined his friend Oko from Arena and is banned in Brawl.
Yep, so no more Oko in Brawl.
Yeah, so no more just turning all your opponent's stuff into 3/3s.
Yep.
In this fun, non-competitive format.
Right.
Elk it.
Elk you.
But I want to elk it.
That's a nice commander you have there. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
Yeah. Cool chew lane. Elk.
Yeah. Elk.
Aw. All right, so we wanted to touch on the Starcity event. I think we both kind of got like tied up with stuff and things.
Yeah, I had some family in town this weekend, so I didn't get to catch as much of it as I would have liked.
Yeah, I hung out with the wife and played some arena and I watched a lot of Sunday.
Yeah.
But like the tournament was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right. It was kind of weird.
Like, I missed most of Friday because like I pretended to be employed, and then and then Saturday I was doing stuff with the wife.
Yeah.
Went and saw a movie, and then Sunday I watched all the top 8.
Yeah, I did get to catch most of the Pioneer. I think it was mostly the Modern stuff that I didn't get a chance to watch.
Yeah, the top 8 was all Pioneer. So
yeah, and that's what really mattered in this event, because this was the first large Pioneer event, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much they were playing for like $10,000 or something,
plus an invite to Players Championship.
Yeah, so this was
some stuff on the line.
Yeah, this was the first tournament that really had like high stakes. Not to say that like the PTQs on Magic Online don't, but this is the first tournament that was like, oh, I'm gonna like, I don't know, eat for a while if I win this thing, so I should probably try real hard.
No more hot dogs for Thanksgiving.
No more like spam what you then stick 2 hot dogs on the side to make drumsticks. Like none of that.
Nope.
No. All right. Cool. So the most represented deck in day 2 was Hardened Scales.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a change, a very little bit of a change. We'll talk about that in a minute.
So with Hardened Scales was the most played deck.
Yep. Followed very closely behind by Mono Green Devotion.
Yeah, so it was 21 Hardened Scales decks and then 19 Mono Green Devotion decks.
Yep.
And then the deck that keeps being good and everyone's just like, this looks like a garbage pile. Everyone says that looks at it. It
does look like a garbage pile.
It is Mono Black Aggro.
What I had heard people talking about was that this deck gets to apply Fast Pressure and run Thoughtseize and Fatal Push, which are 2 of the most important cards in the format right now that the best decks in the format can't play. So that's why this deck performs better than it actually looks. Yeah.
Than a deck that plays Night Market Lookout.
Right. Not all of them do.
Which Brian Gottlieb was like, the first thing I did when I saw this was go and say, there has to be a better 1-drop than this. And then I looked and the answer was no. This is the best 1-drop we get.
Yeah.
And there's also the thing where all of its threats are sticky.
Yes.
And so you can just grind people out because you're going to return your Scrap Heap Scoundrels. You're going to return your Bloodstoke Champions. You're going to return your Gutter Bones.
Yeah.
So you have all these 2/1s, but they all just come back.
Mm-hmm.
So
forever.
So you have chump blockers kind of in the form of Gutter Bones.
Right.
And just threats that you can make that throw 3 creatures away to get into damage.
Yeah,
and
or
then
you
bring
can
them
sack
back.
them to Rankle or whatever.
Yeah. Then you have Simic Aggro, which is Mono Green Devotion, Splashing, Stubborn Denial.
Yep. And Oko.
Yep. Yeah. So, but it's basically Mono Green Devotion.
Yep.
And then Is It in Soul?
Yep. Which is a deck that's been around for a while.
It was a good deck in
Frontier.
Yep. So it's kind of carried over.
Mm-hmm.
Simic Nexus. Oh, Happy Day.
And that's what won the Pioneer PTQ, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and then you have Bant Ramp. This is the Field of the Dead, Hour of Promise.
It's one of them. There's a couple Field of the Dead.
There's a couple,
now.
but this one top 8'd.
Yep. By a local-ish player.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, Dylan Huckabee.
Yeah.
Is Wilmington area, I believe.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep.
I hadn't seen that match in top 8.
Mm-hmm.
It was Mono Black against that, and they were like, whoa. Man, I didn't think Mono Black would have a good matchup, but he just dismantled them, blah, blah, blah. And then I watched it, and I was like, dude missed his 3rd land drop and his 4th land drop in a 30-land deck.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dismantling as it was one person whose half their deck is lands
couldn't find
drew
any.
None of them.
Yeah.
He lost 2 games in a row to just not drawing lands in his 50% land deck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, pump the brakes, guys. You can't just be like, oh, mono black aggro can't be stocked. It was like, well, one dude didn't get to play a game.
Right.
The mono black aggro player who won seems like a good guy. Deck seems night market lookout-ish. But like,
well, like I said, not all of them play night market lookout.
Fair.
Only the smuggler's copter ones do.
Yes. But it was like, calm down. Like, I don't think it's like the end all be all. There are decks that like can beat it. Like, you're like, oh, make 4 zombies. Suck it, night market lookout. No, they can't block a smuggler's copter, but
right.
Okay. So then, is it Phoenix, which for a while people were saying was like one of the best decks in the format?
I think that was like an early front runner though, before people had like super played with the format.
Same with like Mono Red. Mono Red was like, oh, it's so good. And now that was like 7 decks.
Yep.
And then like Blue White Flash, which is Spellqueller, Avacyn, Gideon, Teferi stuff. Yep. Which, fine.
Yep. That's a good deck to have around.
Gruul Aggro, this is 8 Elf, 8 Goblins for the most part.
Yeah, and they ran Embercleave too, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending on the build, but yeah, like 8 Elves into 8 3-drop.
Seems good.
Goblins with, I'm assuming, Once Upon a Time because it's a green deck.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then Is It Emerge, which
deck
like...
looks sweet.
I went to go buy Rekindling Phoenixes, and like their market price on TCG was like $4.
Yeah.
And the cheapest one was like $8. And I was like, damn it.
Coming back, the Redbirds.
The Redbirds. And then Mono Green Ramp, which I guess I don't know what the difference between... that's like the big like...
Yeah, this is the Emrakul Ulamog deck.
Okay. Yeah, where we're just like Circuitous Roots and Hour of Promise.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a lot of green going on here in
A lot
Pioneer.
of green.
When your design philosophy is like print all the green cards for a few years. Because like if you look at it, right, Hardened Scales, green deck. Mono green deck.
Yep.
Simic Aggro,
green
basically
deck.
Mono green deck.
Yep.
Simic Nexus,
Green
greenish deck.
Bant Ramp is very much a green deck.
Gruul Aggro, green deck.
Yep.
Mono Green Ramp.
It's a green deck.
It's a green deck.
I mean, that's a colorless deck.
It is a colorless deck. It is a colorless deck. You were casting giant colorless things, but
Yeah.
you're getting there with green cards.
Right.
So, interesting.
Yep.
Green real good.
Yep. A couple of the decks I just wanted to touch on real quick. The first is the list that won was Mono Black.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's kind of similar to what I was trying to do with my red black like Zombies list, whatever it was. And this was a point that we had started talking about in the last section that I wanted to revisit, was going back to, it was Zvi Mauschwitz's deck building article, right?
Super old.
Super old. But the way he would approach a format is to not look at the cards in the format, but look at what the mana would let you do. And I think that might be a thing that we might have to start doing in Pioneer until we get some better mana. Because there are certainly decks that have better mana than others.
Yeah.
Rakdos is one of the decks that does not have very good mana.
Same with like Gruul. Gruul doesn't have great mana.
Yeah.
So I think the Pioneer mana bases are built on the back of the Kaladesh Fastlands.
Yeah.
And the Shocklands. Mm-hmm. And because of that, the Kaladesh Fastlands only cover half of half of the colors, right. The color pairs.
We don't have Blackcleave Cliffs and we don't have Copperland Gorge.
We don't have the ally colors.
Yeah.
So you are really limited by like if you want to have an aggressive red black deck.
Yeah.
Right? You are limited to like
check lands.
So Dragon Skull Summit, which is not typically an eternal playable Magic card.
Yeah.
And then what's it? Foreboding Ruins, the red-black show land from Shadows.
It's not good.
I think someone told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to play it.
I understand.
It's not good, though.
Yeah. You just don't have the mana to do a lot of stuff, which is why a lot of the decks right now are monocolored.
Right.
Right? Because the format's only been around for like 3 weeks. Now, a lot of people are playing, but you haven't had the ability to like, 1, work out the mana bases.
Right.
And 2, like there's some mana bases that you just can't work out.
Right.
So, like, why bother trying?
Mm-hmm. Another deck that I thought was super cool was Autumn Burchett's Golgari Field deck.
I haven't seen it. I heard about it.
Yeah, it looked sweet. It was like 4 Tireless Tracker, ramp spells, Field of the Dead, make a bunch of zombies. It looked great.
Okay.
I don't remember how well, or like where the deck placed.
I have all the 7-1 deck lists up from Pioneer.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Oh yeah, it was a 7-1 list. So.
I have it. I see it right here.
Yeah.
So again, talking about like things that are good in standard.
Yeah.
So 4 Elvish Rejuvenators, 4 Gilded Goose.
Yep.
1 Murderous Rider, 4 Tireless Trackers, a Corsair Crucifix, 25 lands, just like a veritable hodgepodge of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Lots of one-of lands.
A Westdale Abbey. Woo.
Yeah, spicy.
Removal, 4 Abrupt Decays, 2 Fatal Pushes, 4 Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, imagine that.
2 Vraska's Contempts, 4 Hours of Promise, a Legion's End, and a Thoughtseize.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting to do the mono black thing of like playing the good cheap removal.
Right.
But it's also just like hilariously going over the top of that deck.
Oh yeah.
Like if you get to turn like 5,
yeah,
like
you're not winning.
Yeah, you get to win that game if you're this deck against like the mono black aggro deck.
Right.
But it's do you get to turn 5?
Right.
Which is kind of like the question of the format right now.
Mm. I thought that deck looked sweet though. So
I kind
of wanted to give it a shout out.
It does. It does look really good.
And then one thing that I was noticing when I was looking at some of the deck lists is the number 1 most popular Hardened Scales and the number 2 most popular Mono Green are starting to look awful similar.
Yeah, down here you were like on Elf Voracious Hydra, and I was checking my trade stuff last night. I'm like, thank God I have 3 Voracious Hydras.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure this card is like stupid expensive now.
I just got a text message right before you got here to record of somebody looking for Voracious Hydras for this weekend.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, they are starting to come together.
Yeah.
Because like again, like the green cards are good. Yeah. And the only way to get ahead in mana in this format is to play elves.
Right. The only way to cheat on mana, yeah.
Yeah, I think that this comes back to like all the 1 mana removal is trash other than Fatal Push.
Oh yeah.
If it exists, it's garbage.
Yeah,
right?
You're stuck with like Murderous Cut.
Murderous Cut if you do work.
Right.
Right, but like you've got Fatal Push, and then you have Wild Slash, the $5 uncommon from Fate Reforged, which
dig those out.
Yeah, I know, which I should have a stack of. But you have those, and then you've got just a bunch of like,
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, there's no white, really playable 1 mana removal spell.
No, there isn't.
Or Shock/Wild Slash is fine, unless they like play like a Voracious Hydra for X equals 2.
Yeah,
and then you're just like,
stuck.
Oh man, I feel like a dum-dum now.
Yeah.
And not that blue ever really gets removal, but there's not a lot of good cheap removal and cheap interaction, let's say, in blue. Like there's not a remand.
Right.
And Censor's not good enough.
Yeah. We got what was the one from Eldritch Moon? Unsubstantiate?
Unsubstantiate.
I mean, it's not quite remand, but
yeah, like you don't draw a card, which is like the huge thing there. But yeah, so you don't have a lot of like good interaction, so the only good cheap interaction is black right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know with like what our design philosophy is in standard, right? Which has been like good threats, garbage removal for the last like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I hope that changes soon.
Right? What we're going to just have, like, they're not going to print like Path to Exile or a Path to Exile like level card.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So like the best way it can hope for is going to be like a 2 mana removal spell.
Like Deck and Stone.
Like Deck and Stone, but you're going to be down mana on it. When they go like turn 1 elf, and you're going to be like, well, I guess I got to kill their 3-drop.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to die, right?
Yeah, I got to kill their 3-drop because I can't, they're on the play. I can't play my removal spell.
Right.
Not that you path like elves, but you know what I mean. Like there's not a good cheap, like Dreadbore is not Terminate.
No, it is not.
Like not being instant speed is a big deal.
So at 2 mana, we have Ultimate Price.
Yeah, we have Ultimate Price, Cast Down. There's a bunch of like black common, like the give neg2 thing.
Oh yeah, we have Disfigure.
Disfigure for 1 mana.
Yep.
Black.
Yep. It is black.
Like everything with like Lightning Strike is kind of fine.
Yeah. Not really where I want to be.
Yeah, but like we
also have like Roast and Fry.
Yeah.
Lava
but
Coil.
Again, you're still like trading your 2 mana for their 3 mana play if you're on the draw.
Yeah.
And you're trading your 2 mana for their 1 mana play if you're on the play.
Right.
Which is still not a great place to be. Like you don't have have Bolt the Bird.
Right.
Right. It's not like I'm on the play. I play my land, say go, you play your thing, I bolt it.
Right.
Now I get my turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like now my turn 2 spent answering your turn 1.
Yeah.
So I think that's why there's so many just like aggressive decks, because it's just like you can't ever trade profitably or even at parity with me.
Yeah.
Like you have to like eat a turn, and then that lets me get ahead because you might not have done a whole lot on turn 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now turn 2, you have to answer my thing.
Right.
My turn 2, I can play to the board again,
mm-hmm.
and your turn 3 is spent answering it.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm going to stick something that you can't answer, and then the game goes from there.
Right.
And we had down here the Is It Phoenix emerge list, so that's like Elder Date Fiend and Rekindling Phoenix.
Yeah, that does look sweet.
That is an A+ good time. I love me some I have effects in your upkeep.
Pass turn effects in your upkeep.
That is.
You just watch the life drain out of their face.
That it was Anthony's favorite thing for me to say when I was playing like that deck in Standard.
Yeah.
He like watched me play, and I was like, "Your turn. I have effects in your upkeep. Here's a 5/6. Tap all your lands. Go.
Proceed to your turn.
Good luck."
Yep.
And like with Rekindling Phoenix, it's like, here's a 5/6 and a hasty flyer. Next turn. Good times.
Swing 9. Do it again.
Do it again. Yeah, because you get it back, and then you like just get to like chain Deep Fiends.
Sanctum of Ugin.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, Sanctum of Ugin. That wasn't in that Standard, was it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. 'Cause I remember. Yeah.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep. Let's do it.
Good times. So, and then Modern, like we said, it was.
We talked about Modern a little bit.
It was the Urza show. So 24 of the decks were the Team Lotus Box Simic Urza list.
Yeah, and that's like the consensus, like newest, bestest list or whatever.
Yeah, it's basically kind of a mid-range Urza deck with Oko.
Yeah.
It still, I think, depending on some builds, has the Thopter Sword combo in it. But a lot of them I'll have cut down to like one sword, one Thopter Foundry or something. They're not heavy on it. They just want to have that occasional like, oops, I guess I win this turn button.
Yeah.
But it's just like this mid-range.
Well, they all play Karn the Great Creator.
Yeah, so you can lattice lock people.
So you can get whatever lock piece you need out of the sideboard, and then they're all playing Oko also. So fun fact is Oko alongside Urza is like +2 rampant growth every turn because it's an artifact.
Okay.
So you plus Oko, and then it gives you mana. So by the time you are ready for Karn, you can like Karn and lattice.
Yeah.
So you don't need to whir for anything anymore. You just play Karn instead, and then you get everything out of your board. That's kind of like just good deck building, right?
Yeah.
Just makes sense. So I want to take a quick second here and do like an aside on Wishboards.
Okay.
Because this is something that's now being popular in Modern and is popular in Standard with the Fires deck.
Yes.
The incorrect version of the Fires deck.
Yes.
But it seems like this is the way Wizards wants to do things.
Think about Mastermind's acquisition.
Yeah. Wizards has gone on record saying that they don't like shuffling in competitive games, whatever. That's part of why the fetch lands aren't in Pioneer. That's why like they design things the way they do in Standard. Well, when you tutor out of your sideboard, you don't have to fetch anything. So I think that going forward, we're going to see more of this effect in things that like want to do or want to have these sorts of play patterns so that they don't have to do tutors anymore or like traditional tutors anymore.
Yeah.
So
my salty aside is of course, yes, Wishboards are faster, except when your opponent does it 7 times and has 2 turns to think about what they should get.
Yeah.
And then they go to their sideboard and go like, I don't know what I should get.
I got everything out of it already.
And you still haven't killed me. Can we just concede? Because clearly you're not getting there. The thing I don't like about that is instead of having to kind of make concessions on what your silver bullets are, right? It's not like you are playing Court of Calling and you have to put like 4 silver bullets in your deck and maybe you draw your card that's not good in this matchup and it's kind of just a 2/2 idiot.
Yeah, you're like half pre-boarded for every matchup.
Yeah, but sometimes you draw the cards that aren't good in that matchup and so there's a penalty.
Yeah.
But when you just have like a Wishboard, you have like you draw the answer that you need every time. Now, granted, you're sticking a mana cost onto it because you're having to search for it.
Right.
But you just are drawing your silver bullet. And there's never the downside of like, oh man, this Karn wasn't the silver bullet I needed for this. It's like, oh no, this Karn gets me whatever the thing is that I need.
Whatever bullet was needed for this.
Yeah, this Fae of Wishes gets me whatever thing I need.
Yeah.
And it's not like, oh man, I drew my collector oof and I'm playing against Dredge and it does nothing. Oh man, I really wish I would have drawn the Yixlid Jailer.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, oh, well, that doesn't do anything.
Right.
So it's just that there's less of a deck building cost, which is a thing that like Magic has gone towards. There's so many cards that are just like generically good and there's no like cost. Like when you put a Null Rod in your deck, no artifacts did anything.
Right.
On both sides.
On both sides.
When you put a Karn in your deck, you Null Rod your opponent, but then all of your artifacts are fine. So like you can put your Karn in your all artifact deck.
Yeah.
And there's no like I really want Karn. I really want to get artifacts with Karn, but they can't have activated abilities because it turns mine off.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, nope, it's fine. Just do whatever you want. Which kind of like feels bad.
Yeah, it's just weird design.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope that is not where we're going, but it might very well be.
I think we're going to see more of it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're done seeing it yet.
Yeah, I mean, they have made them more expensive. We don't have like the wish cycles.
Yeah,
that
except
are super
like
cheap.
Fae of Wishes, you just do it again.
Yeah, the fact that you can recycle it. Yeah, but they have decided kind of that they cost 4 mana.
Yeah, that's better.
Because like the wish cycle was 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, actually, they've all been 4, right?
Yeah.
Masterminds was 4. Karn is 4.
Granted is 4.
Yeah, Granted is 4.
So they've all been 4, which I guess they decided that is how much you should
number.
Tack onto the spell to be able to go get it.
Yeah.
So, okay, we have Urza.
Yep.
Then we have Amulet Titan is next.
Yeah, this is a weird one. I mean, it's not weird that it's well represented and did well. It's just kind of a weird deck.
It is. It's a really skill-intensive deck, and it's really, I guess the technical term would be fiddly.
Yeah, fiddly.
To get to work.
Yeah.
I also, like we were talking about this in our chat today, I think that it might be overrepresented at Starcity events because there's a very dedicated group of Amulet players that grind the Starcity circuit.
Yeah.
So it's one of those decks, they're very good with it.
Right.
And if it goes from a 55% deck to a 52% deck, they're still going to play it.
Right.
Right. So I think it might be a little overrepresented in the format.
This is like the Amulet deck really doesn't have a good analog anywhere else. It being so quote unquote fiddly means that it's good for grinders.
Yeah.
Like grinders are going to gravitate towards this deck because you can pick up like huge swaths of percentage points by being good with it. Whereas if I picked it up or you picked it up, we'd stumble through it and probably lose every game. It's just a really convoluted deck to play, so it rewards people that can play it every week.
Yes.
Which the grinders do.
Yeah, or that, can play 2 leagues a night on Magic Online with it.
Right, yeah.
And, like, figure out what their 29th land should be.
Sure. Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time
should
is
be your 29th land.
29th land.
Yeah.
You have Grixis Death Shadow was next up.
Yeah, there was some sweet tech in the Grixis Death Shadow list, too. I really liked it.
Okay, what do we got here?
Royal Scions.
Okay.
That card does everything that this deck wants to do.
It gives first strike and trample?
Yeah.
Okay.
So your Death Shadows get trample, your Real Big Fish get trample, which is something that the deck had an issue with, was like the fish just getting chump blocked or the Death Shadows just getting chump blocked forever. Well, you give them +2/+0 first strike and trample, and they don't get chump blocked anymore.
They do not.
Yeah. So that's good. It also loots. That's good for
cards in your graveyard.
Yeah, finds whatever piece you're looking for, fills up your graveyard so you can cast your fish. I'm pretty sure the deck still plays Snapcaster, so even when you're discarding, you're not really discarding.
And it's a mid-range deck, so there are some cards that are just dead sometimes.
Yeah,
and just want to get those out of your hand.
Yep.
It's turn 7, and you draw your Thoughtseize, and just getting to turn it into not a Thoughtseize.
Yeah,
is a big deal.
Mm-hmm. A quick aside on the Royal Scions is that this is another one that I think people should pick up. Is from like a financial point of view. This card promotes metagames that Wizards really likes. It promotes interactive metagames with creature combat. So a deck that would utilize this, I would expect to pick up some more pieces. Yeah. Right now, they're pretty cheap. If Death Shadow lists gravitate towards Scions, and if, Standard picks some pieces up, I could see this card getting more expensive also.
Okay.
Keep that in mind.
Sounds reasonable. I mean, it's also a card that, you could see playing in, a Jeskai Fires list, where you're, you slam your Red Cavalier, and you're plus on it, give it haste.
Go. Off to the races.
Now you can't block it.
Yep.
And it helps you find your fires and things like that. So it could be, useful in those decks.
Yeah. Yep, definitely.
So what else we have in here that was of interest?
Yeah,
I guess
not a whole lot else that was super surprising. I mean, Tron is Tron and is there, and Burn is Burn and is there.
Yeah, so the deck that, I know Brian Gottlieb was super high on it doesn't show up here, so it must have not been done well, or people must not have played it, was he was super high on, just porting the mono green Devotion deck from Pioneer and porting it into Modern, and he thought it was a very good deck.
Yeah, I didn't see.
It did not show up here, so maybe it was not.
Yeah. I didn't see any on coverage either, I don't think.
Yeah. I think that it's kind of everything you would expect in the metagame. It is a lot really heavy Urza, but again, they might not mess with it. They've already banned 2 cards from Modern Horizons out of various formats.
Yeah, it'd be pretty awkward to ban another one.
3.
Oh, yeah.
Hogak, Renin 6, and Astrolabe got banned out of Pauper. So they might not be looking to do more banning, so this might hang around for a while.
Yeah. If they were going to mess with the format, though, what do you think they hit? Since we're doing the ban episode.
I guess, again, when 46 of your decks are Urza-based, it's kind of hard to not be well, maybe Urza's a problem.
Yeah. Do you think Urza's still a problem without Karn?
I don't think the original version of the Simic Food deck that, put 6 people in the top 8 of, 2 opens back or 3 opens back, I don't think it had Karn. I think that it was, Simic Food, and Zansai had said that they were boarding in Okos all the time.
Okay.
So they basically decided to actually build the mid-range Oko deck.
Okay.
So as opposed to playing the combo deck that they kept boarding into the mid-range deck. So I think at that point, the second iteration is where the Karns came in.
Okay.
So I think that it's still a good deck without the Karns, but...
Well, right, but the Karns are what let people not play Magic, though.
Fair.
Is the deck more beatable if you're facing down an Oko than a Karn?
Maybe. But the Oko is still doing the plus mana thing.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you're worried about Karn, maybe you don't ban Karn, maybe you just ban Mycosynthlatus.
Yeah, but then I guess, but you still go get Bridge, you still go get Chalice.
Yeah, but that lets you, if you're saying that they want Silver Bullet answers, because if it's okay, we're not going to use Karn anymore, right? You could still get all those things with Fae of Wishes.
That's true.
Right, so you ban the problematic thing, you ban Mycosynthlatus.
Right, but Lattice isn't a lock without Karn, though.
But if you want people to still get things out of their board, you just get the thing that is the thing that makes Magic not happen.
Yeah.
Right, and then that would take care of it in the Tron list as well.
Yeah.
So it's just okay, we're gonna stop people not being able to play Magic, and we're gonna leave Karn to go get your Tormod's Crypt, your Grafdigger's Cage,
whatever else you
stuff.
needed. The stuff it was supposed to go get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that none of them went deep enough to be what's that card we reprinted in Battle Bond that costs 6 mana for Commander players? What does that do? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't worry about it.
That's probably fine.
What do you think about Veil in Modern?
Probably good.
You think it's fine?
As a card to stay around?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't played enough Modern to know if it's a huge problem. I can see it being a huge problem, but there aren't a ton of green decks. The green decks are blue decks.
Yeah.
So if you're playing a bunch of blue decks, you already have counter spells, right? If you're Simic Urza, your base blue, splashing green. 1
mana Cryptic's a lot better than 4 mana Cryptic.
But but I guess you have enough green sources that it doesn't maybe matter. Because like Spell Pierce does like a lot of the same job.
Well, you have plenty of green sources because you're playing Astrolabe. You have all of the green sources.
But like Spell Pierce also like hits their Karn. Like I'm sure it's a good sideboard card, but I don't know if it's like as oppressive. But I haven't played a ton of Modern recently.
Yeah.
To be 100% like sure on how like messed up it is. So hopefully we won't have any bans for a while. Yeah. I assume that we'll make it through
the new year
to Theros.
Yeah.
Because there's this Mythic Championship at the beginning of December.
Yeah.
And then no one's going to care about anything. Wizards is going to go on vacation.
Right.
And then we're going to come back. We're going to get super hyped for Theros.
Yep.
And so, like, it's just getting through these next, like, 3 weeks of Standard.
Yeah.
And even if, like, the next MC is 95% cat oven.
Yeah.
Right?
Nothing will happen until the first of the year anyway.
Yeah, they're going to be like, well, enjoy your cats in your ovens because we're...
we're out.
Yeah, we're all eggnog drunk here.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Mark Rosewater, like, as hyper as he is, like, just, like...
Pounding eggnog.
Turns on eggnog. Just running around like a crazy little goblin, just like,
wearing a gingerbread man head.
Yeah, he just runs up, I'm the gingerbread, like tackles you and then runs away. You can't catch me. Okay, there's an image that will put someone in therapy.
Yeah, it'll haunt me for the rest of my life.
Okay, so next up we're going to talk about Arena.
Yep, a couple of things we're going to talk about on Arena. A couple different topics.
The first thing, again, I don't know if I'm enough of a wizard to get this out before the Cascade event is over.
Yeah, probably not, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Is the Cascade event.
Yep.
So this is wherever you cast your first spell on a turn, you cascade.
Mm-hmm.
So you reveal cards off the top of your library until you hit a card with a lower converted mana cost, and
then you get to cast it.
Yep. So basically, if you built your deck correctly, you always get a 2-for-1.
Right.
The things I saw being played were a lot of cat oven. Like Once Upon a Time fixes your consistency, but also if it always hits a Yoda Goose, a cat, or an oven, like that's your deck good. Is real good.
Yeah.
I also saw some people just jamming, like just taking their like Sultai food deck
and just playing it.
Yeah. Without like kind of consideration for like what that means, but like. On your opponent's turn, casting Once Upon a Time and hitting Goose.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic.
So then you untap with
2 mana.
2 mana on turn 1.
Yeah.
Yikes.
It's great.
Yeah. So.
That's what I did.
I played Mono Red Burn.
Mm-hmm. Also seems pretty good. Electrostatic Field, you said?
Electrostatic Field, like 3 Torbrands, 2 4 mana Chandras.
Oh, yeah.
2 Experimental Frenzies. And then. Pretty much every card that said damage to target player.
Yep.
And you would get in these situations where it's like, oh, I'm going to be dead next turn. I guess I'll deal 12 to you. Like, I played like a Torbrand and like cast a spell with like 3 fields out, and my opponent like still like mousing over Torbrand.
Wow.
And then like went to kill it, so I didn't get the damage. I was like, shock, you take 5. Trigger. Like, you're going to take 45 this turn. You're dead.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I did like. Because it's one of those events that you just like pay, and then you're like there were some decks I was just like, I don't want to deal with this.
Concede.
Like, I was like, oh, you just resolved your Wilderness Reclamation on turn 3. Yeah, I'm out.
I know where this is going, and I don't want to be there.
You have 2 ovens and a cat. Yeah, I think I'm done here. Like, I'm just never gonna get ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I won some of them, but like when it was just like this is a little like repetitive, I was like, I'm out. Like, I'm gonna go have some fun.
Yep. I did hear something interesting that I forgot to tell you about.
Okay.
Somebody had posted on Reddit, I believe, that they unlocked the card style for Murderous Rider through the Mastery Pass.
Okay.
And then when they did this event, it overrode it. So they don't have the Mastery Pass card style anymore. All they have is a showcase frame.
What's the Mastery Pass one?
It's just the full art.
I think, okay, you can go in and you can actually click on the card, I think, and pick which version you want.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, I know, like, you can just go in and, like, click, like, I want this version or this version for some of, like, the War of the Spark Planeswalkers.
Oh, okay.
Like, the stained glass version.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can change, but I don't remember.
Okay.
So it might not have just eaten it, Because was it just like the extended art one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm guessing it's still there, but
somewhere.
It defaults to this to the fancy one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the showcase one better anyway, but
I have 3 foils that I'm hoping spike when like
when
that card is
removal gets
playable.
good again.
Yeah, when removal is playable. Hey, Veil of Summer gone.
Hey, removal's playable.
3 mana removal is actually playable now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the mono red deck was just like play fast and like try to win. I won my things pretty quick, and then I just played more because it was like, whatever.
Whatever.
So I guess I will put up the data sheet. I guess the ban on Arena is effective today, right?
It is effective today.
Yes. So I guess I
think
should
it was
put up the
also
data sheet.
effective last week, though.
Yeah, kind of. Like it didn't seem like anyone was playing Okos anymore. Like you'd run into a few, but it just seemed like everyone was like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother. Like I'm going to spend this week trying to find my next deck.
Yeah, I played like 30 games best of 1 with a couple different decks just trying to get a feel for it. I didn't log anything because I was only playing best of 1.
I was doing the same thing.
But I only played Oko twice.
Yeah, I played Oko only
30 games.
I only played Oko a handful of times. Yeah. But it was clear that like there was a shadow ban because no one expected him to make it through the weekend or through the week. I'll try to put stuff, get it put back up just so we have the sheet to work on.
Okay.
Hopefully we find some things because we're kicking around either a PTQ or a Pioneer event this weekend.
I'm up for either one. So
if it's a standard PTQ, I need to have a standard deck.
Yeah. Well, you just said you ordered all the pieces for fires, right?
We'll see if it shows up by Friday.
Oh, okay.
I ordered them at lunch today, sitting in my car.
Where'd you order them from?
TCG Player.
They should be here.
Direct. They should be.
Yeah.
But I might just like Nissa Teferi.
That is also a thing you could do.
Yes. Fair Magic Voracious Hydra. Kill your thing.
If we're standarding, I will be Corvolding people.
Okay. So hopefully we can see where things go. I guess I have to remove Simic Food from the from the list. Like all the food decks have to go away. So the other like interesting arena thing that came up was we did the state of the beta. Not state of the beta.
State of the game.
State of the game. You have state of the beta here. You're messing with me.
Well, that's what you said when you walked in the door. I just wrote down what you said.
Sorry. It's all my fault. So the state of the game, their like monthly update on like what they see, what their priorities are, what they see happening.
Yep.
So the big thing for this was one.
We have a friends list.
We're having a friends list. Well, the first thing is apparently they've figured out why the game crashes and lags and has been generally bad for the last.
Well, that's good because it's not great.
It's not great. So hopefully they get that fixed.
I hope so.
I've not run into a ton of issues.
My computer's super old. I probably need to get a new computer anyway.
Black Friday.
Yeah. I was looking at some of the Costco ones yesterday. We got an early flyer I was looking at.
Ooh.
But one of the things that I have problems with is during matchmaking, like when you have the option to cancel at the bottom there, the timer will stop, but it'll get hung on that page.
Oh.
And like sometimes if I let it sit for like 10 seconds, it'll finally go through to the actual game. Sometimes it doesn't, and I've got to exit the program and hope I get back in before it's already passed through my first turn.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I've not run into that.
I have. Like I said, it might just be my super old computer, but...
Now, friends list.
Yep, that'll be exciting.
So...
Hopefully that'll make it easier for...
It still looks like you have to know the display name plus the like string of numbers after it to like request a friend.
Right, but then after that you don't have to.
Yeah, because like there was the Magic Arena survey that they sent out to I guess all the users.
Okay.
One of the things was like, what would you like to see improved or something? I was like, the friends list is basically like the direct challenge is basically useless.
Yeah.
Like this is just not something that like gets used.
Yeah, ever.
So friends list will be good. At least then, like hopefully you can direct challenge people.
Yeah.
Or something like a lot easier because we've done this podcast for almost 4 standard sets, and
we have not played a game against each other.
Against each other ever.
Right.
Great.
On Arena
because it's not like you can just be like click.
Yeah. Hey, Brian's on. Let me see if he wants to play real quick.
Yeah. Let's play test some stuff. No. It's like, all right. Do I like have the like code and blah blah blah, because I tried to do it with Anthony a few times and like I think it took us like 5 or 6 times to actually get it to work. And it was just like, this is
not worth it.
2019 Wizards. Like, we should be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
And now the other thing that they're talking about, they want to do more Magic formats and ways to play. And so they talked about like remastered sets.
Yeah.
Like going
This
back.
was exciting.
So basically for Magic Online, about a year and a half ago, they did Tempest Remastered, where they took the 3 Tempest block sets that were kind of like to draft, because that was before we knew how to like make draft sets.
Yeah.
And they just took those 3 blocks, smushed them together into one set using the same cards.
Well, not all of them though, right?
Not all of them, but they picked and chose to make a reasonable, modern, quality draft format.
Yeah.
And so they're talking about going back and doing something like that, where they might be remastering blocks. So you could see like them putting Ixalan and like Rivals of Ixalan together, and like having really good tribal support across, like just taking all the tribal cards and like now you have all the good merfolk and all the good vampires in there, and you can make really good tribal decks.
Right. I mean, it'd be a way to do cons without having to put fetch lands on Arena.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much good stuff that could happen in a construct.
Yeah.
So much good stuff.
Yeah, it was a great set.
Yeah. So it would give you a kind of a different way to play. They were talking about like more like fun formats. That was something on the survey. I was like, I like the fun formats. Like you will get me for something, mainly because they're cheap a lot of times.
Yeah, or free.
Like I will do those so I don't have to play like your trash standard format.
Yeah.
Fine, I will cascade into Shock. Sure. I will do this. This is fine.
It's better than seeing Oko.
Better than getting my stuff elked.
Now, when you have a format that's all elks all the time, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, the Momir elk format
that was so bad.
So we talked about it, and then I was like, it couldn't be that bad. And I went home and I played it, and I think the message I sent is trash format is trash.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I don't know who thought, like, you would just, like, your opponent would, what was there? Something Hellion. It was a red creature that should have cost 8, but you get it for 1 mana and just dealt 3 to any target each upkeep. And it was just like, oh, it just kills whatever I played.
Or Bobarigmos.
Yeah.
I got a Bobarigmos on turn 1. Like, I have a handful of lands. I can just throw them at anything. Like, it doesn't matter. And then when he attacks, I get a handful of lands. I can just throw it whatever.
Yeah, it was like, why did you choose to do this?
Yeah.
This seems awful.
Yeah, it was not good.
It was not their best work, but many of the fun formats are fine.
Yep.
They have their fun formats, and then the other thing they were talking about doing is the support for Historic.
Yeah.
So Historic starts this Thursday, so probably the day the podcast comes out. It starts the 21st.
Okay.
And they're going to be releasing 20 new cards for the Historic format.
Yeah, there's some gems in here.
Now, when they first talked about putting cards in there, like, like iconic cards like Dark Confidant and
Gristlebrand
and Wormcoil Engine.
Yeah.
And apparently Aaron Forsyth said, do you want us to help with that? You want us to help with that, right?
Yeah.
And so after a extensive testing, the best I can describe most of these cards is they're just meme cards.
Yeah.
They're just cards.
We got Kiln Fiend.
Meme cards, like I said.
And Treasure Hunt.
He's not kidding. Literally Treasure Hunt.
Literal Treasure Hunt. And Kiln Fiend.
Yeah. Combo.
And Soul Warden.
Oh my God. So we went from the fear of like, are they just gonna put cards that are just objectively the best thing that you could possibly play at that spot on the curve?
Yeah.
To cards that I was listening to Magic FM, and Machi Scanlon, not known as a magical wizard and student of the game too much, was like, I don't know if any of these cards are constructed playable.
Well, I mean, Elvish Visionary has been played in every single format it's been legal in.
I have a legendary Elvish Visionary.
Yeah, it's great, right?
Yeah, because it exiles the Kethis and lets me cast all the cards in my graveyard. Yeah, it's great. So we got Sarah Ascendant.
Yep.
1 mana, 1/1 life link, and what is it? If your life's over 30, it becomes a 5/5.
Yep.
Soul Warden, 1 mana, 1/1 for white.
Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you gain a life.
Combo.
Yeah.
A thing that this is the 3 and a white Kithkin guy. Kithkin Cavalier.
Kinsdale something.
Yeah. Kinsdale Cavalier, maybe?
Yeah.
It's a 2/2 for 4 mana, so, eternal playable.
Right.
All your knights get double strike.
Okay. Don't we already have a 4 mana thing that gives knights double strike?
Or, I think all attacking creatures get first strike?
No, there was a thing in M19 that was knights get double strike for. It was like a 4 mana 3/3 that was a lord, and then you could pay to give your knights double strike.
Yeah, this guy, you don't have to pay.
Right.
So, yay. Treasure Hunt.
Treasure Hunt.
Okay, 1 on the blue. You name a card, and you reveal cards until you hit it?
No, you reveal cards until you hit a non-land card.
Okay. And you put all of them in your hand.
All of them.
So, the traditional Treasure Hunt decks are, you play Zombie Infestation, which is discard 2 cards, make a 2/2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you, Treasure Hunt, and you hope to draw...
Your whole deck.
Yeah. And then you just...
Make a bunch of 2/2s.
And hope that's good enough. I have no idea how putting a bunch of lands in my hand with Treasure Hunt is going to be good in this format.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's breakable in this format, but we'll see.
We have Distant Melody, Pauper All-Star.
Okay, I don't know this one.
It's 3 and a blue, and it's choose a creature type, draw a card for each permanent you control that's that type.
Okay.
So, again, like a blue-green merfolk kind of deck where you just draw a bunch of... But we have,
Doesn't blue-green already do that, though? Isn't that what
it's
Kumina does?
Is it Kumina?
I think so.
The big one, the 5 green-blue...
Oh, that's not the one I was thinking of. But, yeah, Tishana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kumina's the one you, tap some merfolk. It's
tap
a crypt breaker.
5 merfolk.
Yeah.
And draw a card.
Speaking of Crypt Breaker.
Yeah. Crypt Breaker.
Yep.
So the 1 mana, 1/1 black zombie that you pay 1
to discard a card, make a zombie.
And then you can tap 3 zombies, lose a life, draw a card.
Yep.
Hypnotic Spectre because it's 1997.
Hey man, this card's great.
Sure.
Give me Dark Writ. I'm all over it.
Phyrexian Arena, 1 black for an enchantment. Each of your upkeeps you lose a life, draw a card.
Sure.
Cards fine.
Yep.
Tendrils of Corruption. I don't even know. It's 3 and
Is this the one that deals damage equal to the number of swamps you control?
Yeah, for 3 and a black.
Oh, I thought it was more than that. Is it just 3 and a black?
I think it's just 3 and a black. I'm trying to look at it and
yeah, it's a weird picture.
Yeah, it's all of them on not a big enough picture for me to
it's just a screenshot.
Kiln Fiend.
Yep.
1 on the red for a 1/2, and whenever you cast a spell, it gets +3/+0 to end of turn.
Instant or sorcery.
Yep. Goblin Matron.
2 and a red for a 1/1. You get tutor for a goblin.
Yep. I don't know if we have enough goblins.
Well, we got some good ones lately.
We do. I don't know if we have enough for an actual goblins deck.
Yeah.
Thing I can't read.
It's Hitsugu's Second Right.
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, I don't know what it does, but I remember thinking about it and being I have no idea what this card does.
Oh, it's if target player is at 10 life.
Oh, that's it.
Deals 10 damage to them.
Yep.
If they're at exactly 10,
it deals 10 to them.
You 10 them.
Right. You kill them if they're at 10.
Seems unplayable.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, my opponent's at 9. My card's dead. Oh, I have a shock.
Yeah.
My opponent's at 11. Oh, my card's dead because I can't put him to 10.
Right.
Elvish Visionary.
1 of the
green, 1/1 draw a card.
Yep. Staple.
Fauna Shaman. Survival of the fittest on a creature.
Basically.
It's green. It's a bear. It's 1 on the green for 2/2.
Yep.
Pay a green, tap it, discard a creature, search your deck for a creature.
Yep.
Imperious Perfect.
It's a Elf Lord, I think, right?
Yeah.
Elves get 1/1, and you can make elves with it.
And you can make an elf, yeah.
Yep.
Burning Tree Shaman.
Emissary.
Burning Tree Emissary. Yep. Emissary, sorry.
Staple of Pioneer right now.
Yeah. It has 2 green pips for Dicthos.
It sure does.
And is free.
So it's a hybrid red-green for a 2/2. Yep. And when it enters the battlefield, you get a red and a green mana.
Seems free.
It's free.
We're going to skip one for a second to say, speaking of free.
Yeah.
Ornithopter.
It's free.
The OG.
Yep.
0 mana.
For a 0/2.
Flyer.
Yep. That's it.
It's
an artifact.
I don't know what deck this is for.
Sigh.
Sure. I can't bounce it. I'm just stuck with this garbage card.
Oh, that's true. You can't bounce it.
Yeah, like
the bounce spells are gone.
I don't know how I'm putting it back in my hand. I need to put 4 of them back in my hand to make it worthwhile. We have Captain Sisse.
Yeah, that's another weird one.
Can't tell if it's one green white or 2 green white for a 2/2.
Yeah, and you get the tutor for a legend.
Yes, you tap it and you can search for a legend.
Yep.
We have Mind Stone.
That's probably pretty good with Kethis, though.
Probably is. We will test it.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah. Mind Stone is a 2-mana artifact that taps for colorless, or you can pay 1 and sack it, I think, to draw a card.
Yep.
And then I don't even know what this last one is.
Dark Steel Reactor.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what
it
that
has
is.
Indestructible.
Okay.
And then no other game text. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay.
It's like if you put like enough counters on this, you win the game.
All right.
It's $6 in paper. All right, Dark Steel Reactor is indestructible. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on Dark Steel Reactor. When Dark Steel Reactor has 20 or more counters on it, you win the game.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Guess what that's not going to ever see play.
Yeah.
Oh, cool Dark Steel Reactor. I'll tuck it with my 5-mana Teferi.
Oops.
How many counters does it have?
None.
Tuck it. Good luck.
Yeah.
Game will go 40 more turns, but good luck with that. Is that all of them? No, there were 2 more, right?
No, I think that was all of them.
Yeah, okay, that was all of them.
Yep.
Maybe I'm missing something. There are some clear plants for, like, a life gain deck.
Yeah.
Like, you could see, like, a black-white, like, life gain deck, like, the best version of, like, the M19 black-white draft deck.
Yeah, with, like, a Johnny's Pride Mate and stuff.
Yeah, so, like, you can kind of see something there. Healer's Hawk.
Yeah.
So they just gave you another Healer's Hawk with upside?
Yeah, way better upside.
Yeah, so you play a bunch of Healer's Hawks at 1-drops and then lose the Kaya's Wrath.
Sure.
Seems good. And then there's a plant for a Knight's deck.
Yeah. I don't think that's what the Knight's deck was missing, but...
No. And then there's Treasure Hunt.
For some reason.
For some reason. There's a plant for a Zombies deck in Crypt Breaker. And I don't know if Zombies deck was ever, like...
Not
close?
Like just before this it was. In Amonkhet it was.
But we don't have those cards.
Right.
So we have Ixalan. No zombies on Ixalan.
No zombies in Ixalan.
And then I guess there were some zombies in War of the Spark.
Yeah, and we had Death Baron.
Death Baron
was in M19.
So we have a few zombies kicking around. I guess Hypnotic Spectre is just good, clean magic. Randomly discarding cards.
Hey, it is literally the way Richard Garfield designed it.
Literally how he intended.
Yep.
Like Phyrexian Arena is like kind of a mono black control kind of card.
Yeah, that's like a commander staple though. So I'm wondering if that's more for like Brawl or something.
But we're going to be able to put these cards in Brawl. Is there going to be a historic Brawl?
I think there is, yeah.
Okay. So some of these cards might just be like Brawl cards. They want a Goblins deck. They want Kiln Fiend to be another thing for a Spells Matter like
Enigma Drake, Crackling Drake.
Mm-hmm. Then you just have this and you just cheese people out of games.
Yeah. Is there enough for a Prowess deck? Probably not, right? Because we don't have
Swift Spear.
We don't have anything. Yeah.
No, we don't have the good Prowess creatures were Swift Spear and
Soulscar,
and then there's the blue-red haste flyer guy, Storm Chaser Mage.
Yep.
So none of those are legal. And then they have two things for an elf deck, and I guess Fauna Shaman is technically an elf.
It is.
So
it gets you Endrace to win the game.
Fair. And you also get what's the other elf that was Elvish Clanecaller?
Yeah, is your lord.
Is your lord. But then you don't have like the
Shaman of the Pack
or like the big mana, like the legendary green thing that gets a +1/+1 counter whenever you put in an elf.
Marwyn,
right? Like that's the
that was Dominaria.
There's Dominaria, but like that's not like you play it on turn 3 and it taps for 1.
Well, right, but you don't need it though.
You need to cast your Enraze Warbringer somehow.
You have Leyline of Abundance.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I guess we just play like the Pioneer deck without Nykthos.
Oh no, because you don't have Mystic either.
Yeah, you only have one.
You only have Llanowar Elf.
Huh. And I guess like you have Paradise Druid on 2. Yeah, that's not an elf, right? It's a druid. Elf. Yeah, so
that's awkward.
Oh, I guess the 1/3.
Oh yeah.
But still, it seems awkward. It seems like it's not gonna like make explosive big mana.
Yeah.
Burning Tree Emissary, Devotion deck without the Nykthos for it.
See, maybe that's a plant for Theros though.
Maybe
because Devotion's gonna be in Theros.
Yeah, Captain Sisay, like maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go get your Kethis if you get to untap with it.
Yeah.
And then
the weird artifacts.
Yeah, I don't know. And we just glossed over the deal 10 to someone when they're at 10.
Yeah. That's not a card.
Has anyone ever put that card on the stack? Like, I'm sure during Kamigawa block, people lost drafts to that.
I don't know if you read this whole article, but at the bottom, after they were talking about these specific cards they were putting in, they put Brews in.
Oh, I didn't look at that.
Yeah, and there was a whole brew around Hitsugo
aggro.
Yeah.
So I just see that. So 4 of them? Yeah. You would play 4 dead cards? 4. Like, what if you're playing the mirror and you put it on the stack and they shock themselves and then your card does nothing? If your opponent
kill them with their ginger brew.
I guess. Fanatical Fire, Footlight Fiend.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like, couldn't you just take this out and put in a Cavalcade of Calamities and have a better deck?
Hang on. I quote, Hitsugu's second right is perhaps the card Zach and I were most excited about.
It creates a satisfying achievement unlocked moment when you finally get to put it on the stack and it does anything but go to the ground. Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow. Sisay Legends. Let me see here. Does it have...
Yeah, 3 Kethis.
3 Kethis? I was like, okay.
Yep.
But it doesn't just combo that out as and it plays exactly 1 Mox Amber. That's not right.
1 Urza's Ruinous Blast, 1 Yawgmoth's Vile Offering.
I guess you get to search for them with Sisay.
Yeah.
So I guess I can get behind that, but I also...
It's not a combo deck.
It is not. And cool, you'll play your Sisay, and then I'll just combo you out, and you'll never untap, and then we'll see who feels better about their life choices.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, Sisay. You dead.
Yep.
Hypnotic discard. Oh, this
4 Burglar Rat.
4 Yarok Spreadlurker.
4 Freebooter.
Cool. You have a bunch of cards that are great when they have cards in their hand, but then you draw 2 mana 1/1 when they have no cards in their hand because they have to play all of them. So what was your turn 5 play? Well, I played a Burglar Rat, and then they drew a card and killed me. It was rough.
Yeah.
Can you flash in your Burglar Rat? No, you can't draw step that. What are they doing? What?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay, I can kind of see Mind Stone and Dance of the Manse. They have a Dance of the Manse deck with Mind Stone. And
that kind of makes sense.
And 4 Phyrexian Arena. Calm down now. Really, that's what this deck was missing, was ways to draw cards.
Right.
Give them a better egg. Let's cut Guild Globe. Let's cut a Guild Globe so we have space to fit in some Phyrexian Arenas. An egg that you can actually sack for a thing that kills you. Oh, and 3 Eldest Reborns, because, again, what they were missing.
Right.
But you know what they're not playing? 3 mana Teferi. The card that made the deck good.
The card that makes the deck good.
We got to get those Phyrexian Arenas in somehow.
Deck builders, they are not.
No. But the problem is they're the ones picking the cards that we get to build decks with.
Well, hopefully they're just going to do a bunch of remastered sets and we don't have to worry about it.
Hopefully.
And
the other thing that I don't know if we've mentioned this because we've gone super deep now. We were an hour 45 in.
Whew.
I don't know how much we're going to have to edit out here. Thanks for staying with us, folks.
Yeah.
Is they've said that they have a long-term goal of putting Pioneer on Arena.
I'm down for that.
Now, this is a sharp contrast to 3 weeks ago when they said, we don't want to put Pioneer on Arena.
Yeah.
And then apparently, I'm guessing, one of their Hasbro overlords hit someone and said, what are you doing?
You guys are idiots.
Look at how much money you could make.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, yeah, we could make a lot of money by moving what seems to be now our most popular format from our least popular online client.
Their least popular place to play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Arena in paper at a truck stop at a truck stop bathroom, Magic Online. It's like, oh, okay,
oh, boy.
Cool. So perhaps deck builders and businessmen they are not.
Yeah.
Okay, who's Zach? Who is this Zach person?
I don't know.
Who said this? Who? Okay, this was by Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah, no name, just Zach. Wizards of the Coast is hanging out with Zach.
Yeah, Zach and I, Wizards of the Coast, were super hyped for this uncastable card. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, okay. So, pro tip, don't get Hisuga's second right. Like, just don't do it.
Don't do it.
I have seen this card before and gone like, oh my god, this is like stone uncastable. Like, this is awful. And then they were like, we promised you Grizzlebrand, but here you go.
It's perhaps the card Zach is most excited for.
I'm glad, Zach.
Zach is easily excited.
I want to see like Watsy Zach in like orange mythic font cast this card against me,
and then you shock yourself. No, dude, I got this.
Shock also reads take 2 damage, counter target 4-mana spell.
Yeah.
There we go. Or like shock them and I don't know, like misdirected or something. Like, you didn't know you put this card in there, did you, Zach? So, all right. So with that, here you go. A lot of podcasts do this. I want to do this now.
Okay.
I want someone listening to this podcast to tweet us a screenshot of them killing someone with Hitsuga's second right.
All right.
Like, can you make this happen?
Challenge.
Vast casual tripod listener base. Can you make this happen? Because I think you're going to burn a whole lot of time.
And a whole bunch of wild cards.
There's going to be a whole lot of people at 11 or 9. If you
just never do it.
Like, what if they have a ginger brewed out? You're just dead. Like, they just keep up 2 mana the whole game. It's like, I can't ever, like... Oh, no.
They gain a life. Yeah.
They gain a life. Ginger brew. No. It gains 3.
Maybe next time.
Next time. Snap concede. Okay. So when you do that, you can tweet at us at Casual Tripod on Twitter.
Yep. Or you could send it to us on Facebook at Casual Tryhard MTG. Or if you wanted to, you could email us at show@casualtryhardmtg.com.
I would make a P.O. box if you said you wanted to print it out in a picture.
Just for that, you'd get a P.O. box?
I'd make a P.O. box. I could make this happen. So with that, happy historic brewing.
Yep. Have fun, and we'll catch you at F&M.
Yep.